So paying out debt and building up savings is the number one priority for Canadians in 2024, according to CIBC research. But according to the latest TransUnion report that they posted in Q3 2023, most of the balances in Canadian debt accounts are growing. So we all know we have to pay out debt, and that's important, but it seems the debts are just growing and growing year after year. And to add to that, with the current inflation and interest rates, we all know the cost of living here in Canada is getting higher and higher. And CTV News reported that more than half of Canadians are just $200 away of not being able to pay their bills. And if you can only save $200 per month, how you can get out of this vicious cycle of getting your salary deposited into your bank account and just seeing that go right away to pay off debt and bills and credit cards. So that's what we'll do in today's video. We'll go through why I believe it's important to be debt free, how that can help you not only in a financial way, but also psychological, because we all know, like I talked in the other videos, that personal finance is mostly a psychology thing, not a math, because technically the math should be simple. You should spend less than you make. Every month you save some money, pay off debt, invest for the future, and you're good. But that's not how it happens, and we all know about that. So human behavior will be the most important factor here. So here's why we don't like debt at all. Let's say an example here, that's someone that's making around 10K. By the way, it was us in 2022. Our fixed costs, including housing, internet, groceries, cell phone plans, everything, was around 8,000. And our debt repayment, vehicle, mortgage, we also financed our laptops with those interest-free repayment programs for 10-12 months. So that was about 2K of debt repayment. And the problem here is that if you don't have room, you're not saving money every month. If there's an emergency or something changes, even if it's small, it may mess up your entire life. Because imagine here if we had an emergency with our dog, Sky, that may be walking here behind me or not, and added another $1,000 in expenses here. What we would do, we would have to take a line of credit or stop paying credit cards for a month until we get back on our feet. But then we all know credit cards interest they're 20% plus per year. So start to snowball in the wrong direction. So you don't have any flexibility here in your budget. And that's one of the things Dave Ramsey talks a lot about as well, saying that your income is your most important wealth building tool. Because if this is the scenario you are right now, you're not building wealth actually. So let's plot your life for the next 20 years. If you're not saving anything every month, here's what will happen with your net worth. Stay at zero. Or if you have $10,000, it will stay like that because you're not saving anything every month. So moving forward to 2024, here's our picture right now. We are making around 10K. You saw our budget video. Our fixed cost is around 7,000 right now, 7K, because we repaid some of the small debts as well. We don't have debt, so this line is actually zero, so that's good. And then we are saving around $3,000 every month. Some months less, some months more. But that's the average for the year, is we have a $3,000 that in the past, in 2022, it was just to repay debt. But now that we are debt-free, we can use that $2,500 to invest for retirement or financial freedom. And $500 is what we are saving for some renovations here, a few things here and there that we want to do in our apartment. And then if we plot our net worth, if we plot into the future like we did over there, the next 20 years, because we are investing $2,500 every month, we are already at $40,000 here. So we're starting from here, and this will grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. Because every month we put $2,500 plus all the appreciation. Over time, in 10, 15, 20, 25 years, we'll be multi-millionaire. I have no doubt. At least $2 million we'll have in our bank accounts. And that's where we all want to be, right? going towards financial freedom. And we know there's seasons in life. Sometimes if you have 3-4 kids, it will be a completely different scenario. Here we don't have kids, we only have our dog. And so that allowed us to do this journey fairly fast, I would say. But sometimes for you, depending on your case, you can do even faster, or it will take a while until you can get there. But the important part is where your trajectory is going. If it's going to the right place, you are able to save or pay out debt every month, that's good. If it's not, then it's time to correct. And so how can we face this problem of paying off debt? First, you need to face your enemy. The first step is to get a clear view of your enemy. You need to list all your debts. And I know it may be scary at first, because sometimes we prefer not to check. It makes us feel better, but it is time. You have to do that. So list all your debts. You can put the name of the creditor, let's say Scotiabank, remaining balance. You also add your monthly payment and the interest rate. So for example, when we bought our vehicle was with RBC, the total amount was around $32,000. Monthly payment $900, interest rate was 4 or 5%, I don't remember now. So that's the list you have to make. Second, choose your weapon. There's 2 main methods of paying off debt. The first one they call the Snowball method. That's the one Dave Ramsey uses. You simply list your debt smallest to largest. So let's say your credit card is $1,000. That will be first. Your vehicle finance is $10,000. And then your line of credit is $20,000. So you will list from smallest to largest. And then you will start paying, starting from the top, the smallest amount you have left, and going all the way to the biggest debt you have as the last one. And here it doesn't matter the interest rate, because this is a psychological human behavior type of thing. Remember we talked at the beginning of the video? Because when you start paying the small ones, you'll feel a sense of victory, and then you'll be motivated to continue that and go after the second one and go after the third and the fourth and the fifth, and hopefully you don't have more than that, but you get the idea. So the second option you have here is the Avalanche method. This one consists on listing your debts from the highest interest rate to the lowest interest rate. So again, the same example, usually credit cards are the highest interest rates you can get. It's about 20% a year. So on that same example, you would put your credit card at first because it's the highest interest rate. Then you would put, let's say, your line of credit of $20,000, because it's probably around 10% interest rate, something like that. And then you would put as your last one, and then the last one will be the vehicle finance. That's usually about 5 to 8 or 10%. But those are just examples, so you get the point. So the logic behind this approach here is that it's actually smart to pay first the highest interest rate debt, because those are usually the ones that will accrue a lot of interest over time, right? So for example, a $5,000 debt with a 20% interest rate in 5 years will become close to $15,000. On the other hand, a $5,000 debt with a 5% interest rate in 5 years will be close to $7,000. So it makes sense if you do the math to use the Avalanche method, because at least you're eliminating your high interest bills, your high interest debts first. And then as you go down the list, things will get easier in a sense, because they're not occurring a lot of interest. So it's fine if you take a while to pay those. So which one should you choose? Here I would be okay to use a bit of both methods, to be honest. At first, I would pay your credit card as first priority, because they're usually the ones that will really mess up your life with a 20% interest. That's crazy. So those will be at the top for me. After that, I would go to the Snowball method. List smallest to largest debts and go from there. This way you can get the credit card out of the way and then go from there with a smallest to largest. But again, if I had to choose one, I would go with the Snowball method, because personal finance at the end of the day is human behavior, not logic. Because let's say your highest interest debt is $20,000 and you'll have an extra $200, $500 every month to save towards that. You'll not be really excited to go after the debt, right? You would do your mental calculations and you're like, oh, this thing will take 5 years to pay off. Fuck it, I'll not do it. If you have to choose one, go with the Snowball method, because that's the one that is human behavior approved, let's say. So list smallest to largest and go from there. But at the end of the day, neither of those will help if you don't have any extra money to put towards that. If you're making 10K and you're spending 10K. So one of two things needs to happen. And if you're in debt, this is almost like a panic mode you need to go after. Because like I demonstrated after, until you're debt free, your life will be difficult. So you'll not be able to save a lot you'll not be able to save for retirement. And here, forget about investing or anything like that. Just focus. Because if you're trying to put focus on investing, focus on paying off debt and career and multiple things at the same time, it will not work. So let's focus on paying off debt, forget investments for now, and making more money. It can be through side hustles, doing like DoorDash, Uber, and there's even some online work that you can do after your full-time job. Or you can focus on career-wise. And it may take a while, but maybe not. Maybe you're in a place that really values your job, or you have different opportunities that you can explore right away and put some extra work towards certifications and things like that maybe will give you a 10, 15, 20% increase or a promotion. And third, you have to cut some expenses, because you're in debt, you're broke. And that was our approach in 2022. So I'm not saying to go after you. That was our approach and the thing that worked. So we're not going out if you're in debt. And it is okay to go out once a month or something like that. But when you're in debt, you need to really focus towards that. It may be a 1 or 2 or 3 years of dedication towards that goal. But after that, you feel free. So that's all for this video, guys. Leave a comment below if you have any extra tips that I forgot here. That's normal. You probably have a different experience and you can add here in the comments. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, because I'm willing to do more and more videos here every week. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any suggestions here or any ideas of videos.